4 vegetables you must eat and 4 you should never touch if you are over 60. You've been told all vegetables are healthy, but that's a deadly myth. Shocking new studies reveal some veggies silently spike blood sugar, inflame joints, and even increase the risk of death by 83%. And 99% of seniors have no idea. In this video, we'll reveal the 4 vegetables you must eat and the 4 you should never touch, ranked by how dangerous or life-saving they really are. And the worst part, the #1 most dangerous vegetable is probably in your kitchen right now, and one study found it could increase your risk of heart failure by 91%. But the right ones, they can slash inflammation, boost memory, and even add 12 years to your life. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments, from which city are you watching us? Now, without any further ado, let's get started with the good vegetables, ranked from the least to the most powerful. Number 4. Purple cabbage. Purple cabbage might look like a regular vegetable, but what it does inside your body is anything but ordinary. For seniors, it's one of the most underrated protectors against inflammation. What gives it that deep purple color is something called anthocyanins. These are natural compounds that act like antioxidants. That means they go through your bloodstream and soak up the free radicals, tiny unstable molecules that damage your cells and make aging worse. And when it comes to inflammation, anthocyanins are especially powerful. A 2020 study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who consumed more anthocyanin-rich vegetables, like purple cabbage, had a 24% lower risk of heart disease compared to those who didn't. But it's not just your heart. Purple cabbage also helps your gut. It's packed with fiber and natural prebiotics, which feed the good bacteria in your intestines. And that's a big deal after 60, because gut health directly affects your immune system. A healthier gut means fewer infections, less bloating, and better nutrient absorption from the foods you eat. Your body becomes more efficient at using what you eat, and at this stage in life, that makes a major difference. The best way to prepare purple cabbage is raw or lightly cooked. When you overcook it, the anthocyanins break down. If you want the full benefits, try shredding it into salads or mixing it into coleslaw with a little olive oil and apple cider vinegar. That combo not only tastes good, it also enhances absorption of its nutrients. For cooked options, stir-frying for just a few minutes helps preserve its power. Add garlic or turmeric for even more anti-inflammatory effects. Purple cabbage is cheap, easy to find, and stores well in the fridge for weeks. For something so simple, it delivers a huge return, especially if you're fighting joint pain, blood pressure, or poor digestion. It may not look flashy, but it works where it matters most, inside. Number 3. Okra. Okra often gets overlooked because of its slimy texture when cooked, but if you're over 60, this green pod might be exactly what your body needs. What makes okra so valuable for seniors is its effect on blood sugar. Inside okra are soluble fibers called mucilage. This gel-like substance helps slow down how fast sugar is absorbed in your gut. That's important because as you age, your body becomes more resistant to insulin. And insulin is what helps your cells pull sugar out of the bloodstream. When that system starts failing, sugar builds up in your blood, damaging blood vessels and increasing your risk of heart attacks, stroke, and kidney failure. But okra changes that. A 2021 study published in the journal Food Science and Nutrition found that people who ate okra daily for 8 weeks had their fasting blood sugar drop by over 20%. That's the kind of improvement you'd normally expect from prescription drugs, without the side effects. Okra also contains antioxidants like quercetin and flavonoids, which reduce oxidative stress on the brain. That's especially helpful for seniors struggling with brain fog, poor memory, or early cognitive decline. On top of that, okra is rich in vitamin K, which helps with blood clotting and bone health. Seniors who are prone to falls or fractures benefit directly from this nutrient. There's also a high amount of folate in okra, which helps with red blood cell formation and overall energy levels. Another key factor in aging well. To get the most out of okra, it's best cooked quickly and with minimal oil. Steaming it lightly or tossing it into soups and stews helps reduce the slimy texture while keeping all the good nutrients intact. If you want to reduce the stickiness even more, soak it in vinegar for 30 minutes before cooking. Roasted okra also works well. Just slice it, toss with olive oil and a pinch of salt, and roast at a high temperature until it's crisp. You get the fiber, the antioxidants, and the blood sugar benefits all in one go. Okra may not be your favorite vegetable at first, but once you understand how it supports blood sugar, heart health, and brain clarity, it's worth finding a way to enjoy it. This is a vegetable that works over time to keep your aging body balanced, steady, and strong. Number 2. Beetroot. Beetroot isn't just a colorful root. It's one of the most powerful natural tools for opening up your blood vessels. And after 60, that matters more than ever. As we age, the inside walls of our arteries stiffen. That makes it harder for blood to flow through, raising your blood pressure and straining your heart. But beetroot contains high levels of natural nitrates. These compounds get converted in your body into nitric oxide, which acts like a muscle relaxer for your blood vessels. It helps them widen, improves blood flow, and reduces overall strain on your heart. A 2019 clinical study from hypertension research found that drinking beetroot juice daily for just 4 weeks lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 11 points in seniors. Better circulation also means better brain health. Your brain needs steady blood flow to stay sharp, focused, and responsive, and beetroot delivers. In a 2017 study published in the Journals of Gerontology, older adults who consumed beetroot before exercising had increased blood flow to the frontal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for memory and decision-making. That means beetroot not only protects your heart, it also helps preserve your mind. Beets are also rich in betalains, a group of antioxidants that fight inflammation at the cellular level. This is especially useful if you're dealing with joint pain, arthritis, or any kind of chronic discomfort. Plus, they contain folate and manganese, two nutrients that support red blood cell production and energy metabolism. That's key when energy dips become more common after 60. To get the best out of beets, try roasting them in the oven until tender. This brings out their natural sweetness and keeps their nutrients intact. You can also blend them into smoothies with a bit of apple and ginger for a refreshing and powerful health drink. Beet juice works too, but make sure it's 100% pure without added sugars. If you're short on time, pre-cooked vacuum-sealed beets are a great option. Just slice and eat. Number 1. Kale. Kale is more than just a trendy superfood. It's the number 1 vegetable seniors should be eating daily. What makes kale so powerful is how many systems it supports at once. First, it's packed with lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenoids, natural pigments that specifically protect your eyes and brain. After 60, your risk of macular degeneration and cognitive decline skyrockets. But kale can help slow both. A 2020 study published in Neurology found that seniors who consumed high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin had 32% slower cognitive decline compared to those who ate the least. That means sharper memory, better focus, and more independence as you age. Kale also provides an incredible boost to your heart. It's rich in potassium, which balances out sodium in your diet and helps reduce blood pressure. It also contains magnesium, a mineral many seniors lack, which helps regulate heartbeat and reduce the risk of irregular rhythms. And with its high vitamin K content, kale supports strong bones and prevents arterial calcification, where calcium builds up inside your blood vessels and increases heart attack risk. Just 1 cup of kale delivers over 600% of your daily vitamin K needs. On top of that, kale is filled with anti-inflammatory compounds like camphorol and glucosinolates. These go deep into your cells and block chronic inflammation, the root cause of heart disease, diabetes, and joint pain. A 2018 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience linked regular kale consumption with better neuronal activity in aging brains, especially in areas related to memory and sensory processing. To get the most out of kale, avoid eating it raw in large amounts. Raw kale contains compounds that can interfere with thyroid function, especially if you already have thyroid issues. Light cooking solves this. Sautéing it in olive oil with garlic for just 3 to 5 minutes preserves the nutrients while removing the risk. You can also steam it or blend it into soups for a smooth texture. For a snack option, try homemade kale chips. Just tear the leaves, coat lightly in olive oil, sprinkle with sea salt, and bake at a low temperature until crisp. Kale is inexpensive, easy to find, and stores well in the fridge. And unlike many supplements or powders, your body knows exactly how to absorb it. When it comes to keeping your brain sharp, your heart strong, and your body resilient, kale is the single most important vegetable you can eat. If there's only one food you change this week, make it this one. Now that you know the 4 vegetables that can heal your heart, protect your brain, and keep your body strong after 60, it's time for the other side of the truth. These next 4 vegetables may look innocent, but they're silently wrecking your blood sugar, inflaming your joints, and damaging your organs every time you eat them. Let's dive into the 4 vegetables you should never touch, ranked from least to most dangerous. Number 4. Corn. Corn may seem harmless, especially since it shows up in everything from summer barbecues to canned soups. But once you're over 60, corn becomes more of a hidden threat than most people realize. It's not because of its taste or fiber. It's because of what it does to your blood sugar. Corn is a high glycemic vegetable, which means it spikes your blood sugar faster than some sugary cereals. And when blood sugar spikes, insulin floods your system. Over time, your cells become resistant. That's how seniors slide silently into prediabetes or full-blown type 2 diabetes without knowing it. In a 2020 study published in Diabetes Care, older adults who consumed high glycemic vegetables like corn regularly were found to have a 46% higher risk of insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. And unlike complex carbs found in lentils or whole grains, corn doesn't give you long-lasting energy. It gives you a short burst, followed by a crash. That roller coaster effect stresses your heart and confuses your body's hormonal balance. If you still enjoy corn occasionally, portion control is key. But it shouldn't be a staple on your plate. Replace it with low glycemic vegetables like cauliflower or zucchini that support stable energy and better blood sugar. And avoid creamed corn, canned corn with added sugars, and anything labeled sweet corn, which has been selectively bred for even more sugar content. Corn isn't poison. But for seniors, it's a silent disruptor. It's easy to overlook because it's so common. But over time, its effects add up, leading to unstable blood sugar, weight gain, and increased heart strain. If you're eating it often, now is the time to scale back and make a smarter swap. Number 3. Potatoes. Potatoes are often seen as comfort food, but for seniors, they can become a hidden health trap. They're starchy, heavy, and extremely high on the glycemic index, which means they cause blood sugar to spike rapidly after eating. That spike leads to a surge in insulin, followed by a crash. Over time, this roller coaster effect weakens insulin sensitivity, exhausts your pancreas, and encourages fat buildup around the organs. A 2016 study in BMJ tracked over 70,000 adults and found that those who ate potatoes 4 or more times a week had a 33% higher risk of developing high blood pressure, a major red flag after 60. Potatoes are also low in the protective compounds that come from more colorful vegetables. They don't offer much fiber unless you eat the skin, and most people don't. Plus, they're often cooked in the worst ways possible: fried, mashed with butter, or drowned in salt. That turns a bland starch into a full-blown cardiovascular hazard. Fried potatoes have been linked to artery inflammation due to the formation of acrylamides, a toxic compound that develops during high heat cooking. When you add salt or cheese, the sodium levels skyrocket, putting even more pressure on aging kidneys and blood vessels. Even when boiled, potatoes release glucose quickly, causing spikes that can be harmful if you're already dealing with weight gain, fatigue, or metabolic slowdowns. Seniors who eat potatoes frequently often notice that they feel more tired after meals. That's because the high-carb load strains the body's energy system. And when this happens daily, it builds up into insulin resistance, nerve damage, and eventually type 2 diabetes or heart disease. If you love potatoes, you don't have to give them up completely, but they should be a treat, not a habit. Switch to sweet potatoes occasionally, which are lower on the glycemic index and contain more fiber and antioxidants. Roast them with olive oil and cinnamon instead of frying or mashing them with butter. But regular white potatoes, especially when fried or processed, should not be a go-to side dish for anyone over 60. They're cheap, filling, and familiar, but they also fuel the very conditions seniors need to avoid most: blood sugar instability, high blood pressure, and inflammation. After 60, every bite counts. And with potatoes, the risks outweigh the comfort. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 2. Eggplant. Eggplant is often praised for being low in calories, but for seniors, this purple vegetable carries hidden risks that can quietly wreak havoc on the body. The main issue lies in a group of natural compounds called alkaloids. These substances are part of the plant's natural defense system, but in sensitive individuals, especially older adults, they can trigger inflammation in joints, muscles, and even the digestive system. A 2021 study in Frontiers in Pharmacology highlighted those alkaloids like solanine and nationine found in eggplant can increase oxidative stress and interfere with nerve signaling when consumed in large or frequent amounts. This means that for seniors dealing with arthritis, muscle stiffness, or nerve pain, eggplant can make symptoms worse, not better. Many seniors report increased joint pain or fatigue after eating dishes that contain eggplant, especially if it's grilled or fried. What's worse is that eggplant tends to absorb a lot of oil during cooking, and the combination of oil, heat, and alkaloids creates a pro-inflammatory environment inside the body. That inflammation spreads silently, affecting circulation and even increasing blood pressure over time. Eggplant also contains oxalates, which are compounds that can contribute to kidney stone formation. After 60, kidney function naturally slows down. When oxalates accumulate, they can form calcium oxalate stones, which are painful and dangerous. A 2019 study in Neurology Annals found that high oxalate vegetable intake significantly increased kidney stone risk in older adults with reduced kidney efficiency. The texture of eggplant also makes it difficult to digest for some seniors, especially if it's undercooked or served with the skin on. This can lead to bloating, gas, or gut irritation, particularly for those with sensitive stomachs or a history of GERD. If you do eat eggplant, it must be cooked thoroughly and prepared in small portions. Removing the skin and pre-soaking slices in salt water can reduce the bitterness and remove some of the problematic compounds. But even with proper prep, eggplant remains a high-risk vegetable for seniors with inflammatory conditions, kidney concerns, or digestion issues. There are far better options that offer antioxidants without the baggage. It may look beautiful on the plate, but after 60, eggplant is one of those vegetables that could quietly be doing more harm than good. Number 1. Canned tomatoes. Tomatoes by themselves aren't the problem. In fact, fresh tomatoes can be quite beneficial. The real danger for seniors is canned tomatoes. They seem convenient, affordable, and perfect for soups, sauces, and stews. But what most people over 60 don't realize is that canned tomatoes are a toxic combination of acidic food and chemical-lined metal, which becomes a serious threat to your heart, hormones, and even your brain. Here's how it works. The inside of most cans is coated with a chemical called BPA, or bisphenol A. It's used to keep the metal from rusting and to extend shelf life. But BPA is a known endocrine disruptor, which means it messes with your body's hormones, especially estrogen and testosterone. As you age, your hormone levels are already declining, and BPA exposure throws that balance off even more, increasing the risk of weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, and even heart arrhythmias. A 2020 study in environmental research found that adults with the highest levels of BPA in their blood had a 91% higher risk of heart disease compared to those with the lowest levels. Tomatoes make this worse because they're acidic. That acid breaks down the BPA lining in the can, causing it to leach directly into the tomatoes. So every time you eat canned tomatoes, you're not just getting lycopene or vitamin C. You're getting a dose of a chemical that's been linked to cancer, heart failure, and hormone imbalance. Seniors are especially at risk because your liver becomes less efficient at processing toxins with age. That means BPA builds up faster, doing more damage in less time. Canned tomatoes are also usually loaded with salt. 1 cup of canned tomato sauce can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly a quarter of your entire day's recommended limit, and it adds up fast when you use tomato products in pasta, stews, and casseroles. High sodium intake raises blood pressure, stiffens your arteries, and overworks your kidneys. If you're already dealing with hypertension or take medications for your heart, this kind of sodium load can be extremely dangerous. The solution is simple but critical. Switch to glass-jarred tomato sauces or make your own from fresh tomatoes. If you must use canned, choose brands that clearly label themselves BPA-free, though even those may still carry risk. And always rinse the tomatoes before using to reduce sodium. Roasting fresh tomatoes with garlic and olive oil can give you all the flavor without any of the poison. You get the lycopene, the heart protection, and none of the hormonal chaos. Canned tomatoes may seem harmless, but for seniors, they're a slow-acting chemical trap that can sabotage your hormones, spike your blood pressure, and accelerate aging from the inside out. It's one of the most common mistakes in senior diets, and the easiest to fix today. After 60, every bite you take either builds you up or breaks you down. And now you know the truth. Not all vegetables are safe. Some will fuel your heart, your brain, and your energy. Others can silently raise your blood sugar, spike your blood pressure, and speed up the aging process without you feeling it. Until it's too late. The good ones, they protect you. They fight inflammation. They boost memory and balance hormones naturally. The bad ones, they pretend to be healthy but quietly erode your strength, your gut, and even your kidneys. But now you're armed with the truth, and you can take back control. So tell us in the comments, which vegetable shocked you the most today? And if you want more science-based food advice for staying strong, sharp, and independent well into your 70s and beyond, hit that subscribe button now. Your body deserves better than guessing. Let's get it right, together. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.